Hey guys, it's me Maxxy Rainbow. I'm here in Italy outside the venue Pala Alpitor for Eurovision 2022. Rehearsals have begun and I am on the hunt to find a Eurovision artist. Chanel, I'm coming for you, girl. So unfortunately, we did not find any Eurovision artists today. I actually sat outside the venue for almost the entire day from noon until I don't really know what time it was because I switched my phone to 24-hour time because I'm trying to live my European fantasy, and now I have no idea what time it ever is. So in this video, I'm going to be giving my opinions and thoughts on the first day of rehearsals for Eurovision 2022. Now, the issue with rehearsals from today, which I think that everybody who has paid attention at all to what was going on today, is that we really didn't get to see much at all. Rehearsals started super duper early in the morning, and we didn't even start getting videos for the rehearsals until I don't know, noon, 1 p.m. And even then we got 2 videos, then 3 hours passed, and then we got the rest of the videos. It was an absolute shitstorm. It was ridiculous. I can tell you, I was outside of the venue. On top of that, with press, we really don't know what is going on at all. And I know that people have some thoughts in their head. Some people are very anti having press there. Some people are very pro having press there in these early stages for rehearsals. I know a lot of people who are anti having press at the first rehearsals. Their kind of talking point is that it's better for the artists because basically the artists don't have to deal with the ridicule and the comments from people on rehearsals where it's their first time on the stage, so they should have the chance to mess up and stuff without being critiqued, which I totally understand. However, that's not the reason why they chose not to show us the rehearsals. If that was the reason, then they just wouldn't have shown us them at all. The reason was because of Eurovision's partnership with TikTok. That was the only platform they were going to show the rehearsals on. However, even that, them not having press or anything there to leak information, I think that they were kind of just hoping that it would drive people to their TikTok, which maybe it did, I guess. I don't know. But it definitely was weird. And I think that I agree with Blogs where they, were continually saying over and over again, artists and delegations have expressed disappointment in the fact that there were no press. Because for these artists, a big part of the rehearsals is getting to do interviews, getting to do their press days, having their photos taken for both the rehearsals and also after the fact. They got absolutely none of that. They went in there alone with only their delegations and the people working at the stage. They're doing their press conference with an empty audience. It's just a really sucky situation. So I do have online press accreditation, so I was watching some of the interviews for the press conferences. I didn't watch all of them. They were kind of cringe, whatever, but literally watching them, it looked like we were back to the heavy COVID days where there was just literally no one in the audience, anything like that. But the weird thing was they were hugging on stage and stuff like that. So obviously we know it wasn't because of COVID, and I just think it's ridiculous for them to have not had press there whatsoever. I was there. I was right outside of the venue, right between the press center and the venue. I didn't get to see any artists. I was so hoping that maybe I would see them walking to and from. I was there with my friends that I have met here in Turin who are absolute lifesavers. They help show me around the entire city and help me figure out public transportation and stuff like that. So shout out to Gian and Vincenzo because they have made this experience of me being here in Italy alone way less lonely, and I really, really appreciate it. But yeah, so we were there. Actually, Vincenzo went up and was asking the workers stuff, asking where they were coming from, and it looks like the artists are coming from a secret entrance. Not a secret entrance, but they're coming in through cars directly into the venue, so you really don't get a chance to see them coming to and from the venue, which is really disappointing because I really want to meet some of these artists, and I've been trying to schedule interviews with them, but just nobody's getting back to me. And so I'm oh, maybe I'll at least be able to meet them camping outside of the venue because I live literally 2 minutes from the venue. And unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be possible, but we shall see. So, yeah, with all that being said, let's get into actually talking about the rehearsals from today. So, I really debated on even making a video like this today. So, I don't even know if I will end up doing these for every single day. If we continue to have like a pretty non-eventful rehearsal day, then I don't know, I might just lose all hope. So I just want to tell y'all right now, like, I might just invest my time in some more important videos to make for you guys. But so today we got Albania, Latvia, Lithuania, Switzerland, Slovenia, Ukraine, Bulgaria, Netherlands, and Moldova's rehearsals today. So starting off first, we had Albania with Ronella. As some of you may know, this is my winner. This is my favorite by far song from this year. So I was really excited to see what she was going to do with the staging. I think that Albania decided to go for something way more modern in the way that they staged and styled this. There's an emphasis on the kind of like neon lights. It's pretty dark, but then it looks like we have like pinks and blues coming through with that. It's very different for Albania because Albania typically sticks within the red and black color palette, but it seems like they are choosing to go a different route with that. I really love the way that Ronella looks in terms of her hair, her makeup. She looks great. I love Ronella and I love her style. I love what she wore for the actual press conference. It was like a neon green ruffle coat moment. It was really cool. I don't quite understand why she chose to go with what she's wearing. I get that she's going for something sexy. It looks like lingerie. I mean, the song is very much about like sex and stuff like that. And it sounds like there's kind of this, same-sex lesbian love moment going on with the stage, which we absolutely stan. But, I love the idea of her going kind of in like this nightgown sort of lingerie situation, but it felt very disjointed. The background dancers were in like skirts and they felt like, warrior dancers. And then you have her in lingerie, and lingerie can be fierce. I like the bra portion of it, but I felt like if the bra was going to be like sequin rhinestones, then the panties should be sequin rhinestones. Things felt kind of disjointed. I was very surprised that she chose to go with this because I think it's very simple. I think it's kind of a basic outfit. It just surprises me. And, if she wanted to go for this kind of lingerie undergarment feel, there's ways that she could do that in like bodysuits or dance costumes that would give that vibe, but would just be a little bit more elevated. So I'm hoping that she chooses to change her clothing for this because it just seems a little underwhelming, I think, and disjointed from what her original image was in the national selection. I don't need it to be the warrior theme that she was going for before, but I love that. So I wish that we would maybe bring some more warrior elements into it. It definitely feels like they're choosing to go a more modern route with this, which I appreciate, and I think that that's a good move for them. However, definitely I think the outfit needs to change. We really didn't get to see anything from the TikToks whatsoever. I cannot comment on her dance moves or anything like that. I'm sure they were great because she's basically killed every single performance that she's done, but I can't really comment too much on how that went in the rehearsals. It does sound like they felt like they really went through the rehearsal with not too many issues. So that's really good to hear because there were several that. All right, so next up is Latvia, Citiziani. Now, I really love the way that this is looking for me. I love the song. For those of you who don't know, like I really love this song. I did a look inspired by the song as well. So I'm hoping I get to meet them so I can try to get it signed. But you know what? I saw a picture that one of the band members posted on their Instagram, and you saw everybody lined up, and they're kind of like in this rainbow color scheme going on. I love the yellow, the green, the white. It's giving Italian flag. I don't know why also. It just makes me think of salad. It makes me think of pizza as well, obviously, like with Italian last pizza slice. Hello. Oh, I've got that going on with my hair today. I actually love the way that this looks. I think that they look bright and exciting on the stage. I love this faraway shot. I think it's going to be epic. I'm really rooting for Latvia to come through and qualify this year. I just think that this looks really nice. It looks clean. It looks colorful. I mean, the pictures that they chose, it looks exciting. And I think that that makes me excited as well. Once again, no idea whatsoever with what It really is going to look like emotion, but I like the still visuals that we received. I also love their personality in the interview. I watched Ronella Setiziani and Monica Lu's interviews for the press conference, and they all are just so fun. It makes me like, oh my God, I'm dying to get to interview them. I think it'd be so much fun. But yeah, I think that Latvia did really, really well. I'm rooting for a qualification. I think that I really have tried not to comment on who I think will qualify, who won't, until I see rehearsals, because that's when you really know. And I think that it's definitely closing in on the possibility of Latvia qualifying. I'm really, really hoping. Alrighty, so next up is Monica Lu for Lithuania. This was pretty much what we saw in the national selection. She kept her costume. It's all the same. There's really not much of a change with the visual, I would say, except for there's a lot of pink. And in the national selection, it was more orangey, I would say. There's more pink. I hear that there were technical difficulties with the sun for her. You know, the countries that are probably not utilizing it, it's not as obvious, but it looked good. I'm sure that she had a great performance. I'm starting to worry for Lithuania. I love the song so much, but I'm going to be honest, even when I rank all the songs from the semi, I don't know if I have it qualifying just because there's so many amazing songs, but we need to see everybody else. I think that she did a perfectly good job. Nothing from this looks like she did a bad job. Nothing from this has me having any doubts on her ability to perform or anything like that. They didn't really change anything, so there's not much to comment on that. Switzerland is up next with Marius Bear, and this was just very classy. He's wearing a leather jacket, and, you know, it just looks like how I would probably stage this. I like that they kind of kept it dark. They have the smoke and the, like, spotlight coming down on him. I think that it's going to look expensive. I think that they elevated it with that. I know that he has a very unique voice. I don't know if I see this qualifying. It's kind of giving me, you know, Austria last year, but you know, it's not a horrible song. It might be my last place, I'm not gonna lie, but it's not horrible. I'm not sure how to feel. I think that the staging looks very classy and nice though, and I'm excited to see it with the camera shots. All right, so next up is LPS for Slovenia. And I gotta say, this is one that actually really did excite me. I think that the big disco ball looks really, really cool. I think that it looks really expensive. I love their costumes. They all look very cohesive in this kind of like red velvet, dark green velvet, burgundy velvet suits, all of them. I think it looks really, really cool. I might actually get an interview with them, which I'm very excited for. I just hope that they pump up the charisma a little bit. You know, I think it's a good song, but it's definitely missing that spark. And all that's missing is this main singer to bring that spark. The only other thing that I would say is looking at the pictures, my first thought was I feel like the drummer should be on top of the crystal ball. Personally, unless it's moving, I would have put the drummer on top of the crystal ball somehow, because there's a picture when it's kind of like a side angle and you can see just kind of like the scaffolding holding him up, and it looks kind of weird. My friends that I were with though were not as impressed as I was. All right, so next up was Ukraine with Kalush Orchestra, and this looks really good. I'm glad that they ditched them all wearing those fringy outfits, because I saw some of the pre-parties and stuff where they all were wearing those outfits, and it was a little bit much. I don't know if that has a significance to like Ukrainian culture or to Ukraine in general. I've seen like Ukrainian artists have that visual before of people in those like full body fringe outfits, so it might be a Ukrainian cultural thing. I'm not really sure. I like it, but we didn't need all of the band members in it, so I'm glad that they stuck to just like two of them on the sides with it. I think it creates a really cool visual, so I actually like it like that. I like that they are all kind of in these warm orangey tones, and then you have the blue and yellow kind of lights coming through, so it brings through that Ukrainian heritage, but it's not overwhelming, it's not overpowering. It's interesting because this is actually my second place in my rankings, but I don't fully understand the hype within the fandom and the odds. The idea of this winning would be very shocking to me just because it doesn't give me winter vibes. It gives me a type of song I would love, but it doesn't give me winter vibes at all. So I guess I would be happy, but I'm very surprised with its placement in the odds. And I will say, from what we've seen from the rehearsals, a song like this with like rapping and a fast-paced element to it, it really all comes down to the camera angles. I feel like if we can get that energy with the camera angles switching back and forth, changing all around, then it can really deliver. So hopefully they're going to bring that. But really all we can judge is on outfits and like lighting and like general elements that they bring to the stage. And I think it looks decent. All right, so next up was Bulgaria with Intelligent Music Project. I actually had higher hopes than probably anybody else in the fandom for this song, simply because I don't think it's a bad song, and I think that Bulgaria tends to stage the hell out of their stuff. I don't know what I wanted from them, but I don't really know if they delivered what I desired. It looks like the like element on stage with all the circles cut out in it, and it's like lighting up. It looks like a jungle gym for children. There's a lot of pyro. There's like so much fire. But I don't know why. It just doesn't look visually as interesting in terms of their outfits. Like, it's all kind of boring. And I know that's a song, so that's probably what people expected from them. But I don't know why, but I just wanted better for them. Like, I actually kind of wanted them to, like, pull through with this. Did I think they were ever going to qualify? No. Although I know my reaction would tell otherwise. I wanted better for them. I'm not going to lie, just because I love the idea of like them actually pulling through with some awesome staging, because I don't mind the song. I think it's very, very catchy. But the staging looked very boring to me. It didn't look like they really put much thought into it. All right, so next up is the Netherlands with S10, and she looks great. It looks very classy, similar to Switzerland. It's very dark with kind of smoke coming through and then like a blue spotlight behind her. I love her outfit. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's interesting. It's high fashion. It's cool. You see her body. You see her long hair. It emphasizes like her physique and how tall she is. Not very many people can pull off low-waisted pants like that, and especially showing off your stomach and then the long hair. She looks amazing. A lot of people are saying it's boring because I think they were comparing it to that one live performance where she has all the neon lasers. Personally, I didn't like that. I thought they were doing way too much. This is like a depression ballad, all right? I want to be depressed. And depression for me is darkness and fog, and just that's what I wanted from the song. So they gave that. Does it look like crazy interesting whatsoever? Not necessarily, but you know, I wasn't expecting that from the song, so I'm not really bothered about it. Sorry, I sat outside the venue in full drag in a corset, which you'll see like in the beginning clip that I filmed. I had a really fun idea for that, but then it started raining. So I was in full drag, my feet hurt. I was wearing a corset for like 5 hours, so I'm in pain. So sorry if I slouch back or whatever. I'm like, ugh. Gosh, and we're just beginning. Alrighty, and last up was Moldova. And let me tell you, Moldova is my biggest disappointment from today, 100%. I think that we were all expecting a giant train, and that is nowhere to be seen in any of the visuals, and I don't think that they're getting it. This looks extremely lackluster. I think that they're all in like disjointed costumes. I'm sure that he's gonna have great energy. I was telling my friends that I was with, I was like, to me, this means they're out. Like, we were expecting some killer staging, and right now I don't see that from them. They didn't bring anything interesting. It looks like it's just, for the most part, them on stage. Maybe some elements. I mean, they have props to interact with. There's no, like, grand structure to save the day. It's just them on stage is what it appears to be. And I don't think that that's enough for this song. It's a fun song. I do really like it. But I kind of would be remiss if it qualified at this point, just because there's so many great songs in this semi, and I don't think they did enough to really pull it that much extra forward to qualify. But that's just my perspective. My friends that I was with told me I was crazy. Even though I think that I probably like the song more than that. But they were like, no, it's still going to qualify. I don't really see it in the cards for them. but that's just me. I really don't know what I'm talking about, so take that with a grain of salt. So yeah, guys, that is all I have to say about the rehearsals today. Let me know if you want us to keep seeing these. I don't know if my perspective or anything that I have to say really matters. I don't know if any of you guys care. I really would like to film more stuff outside the venue, which is why I went there today, but it's still mostly local people who don't really care much about Eurovision. And unfortunately, in Turin, it doesn't seem like most people here speak English, which is perfectly fine. I'm in their country, of course. But for interview's sake, not a lot of people seem to speak English, so it's kind of hard for me to approach people or anything like that. I think I'm still waiting a little bit until people, I was the only press person for the most part that I saw that went to the actual venue today, and I didn't even get a press pass. So, I'm trying, but to be quite honest, Eurovision, the EBU, whoever makes those damn rules is really pushing these press people away. And I'm like, this is my first year here, so I'm going to go all out. I'm going to go to the venue every single day, whenever the, rehearsals are happening. Girl, why? Why should I? I stood out there forever. Nobody came outside. You can't hear the music. You can't see anything. You don't get any perspective. I should have just done what Wee Wee Blogs. It was a beautiful day. I'll say that. It was a nice day. I was very happy to be outside. But I was not happy to be in pain out in public, in drag, which is embarrassing. Everybody's staring at you, whatever. It's funny. I just have to laugh. I'm like, I look ridiculous. I can't believe I'm doing this right now. And for what? For what? Nothing happened at all. And we barely even saw the rehearsals at home. Literally nothing. So I think tomorrow I'm going to break in. I'm just kidding. But, what should I even do? I feel like I came here so early. And usually there's still, stuff to do because, rehearsals just started. But rehearsals don't even really seem to matter until, Wednesday. So it is what it is. So yeah, guys, my name is Max Rainbow. I will see you all later. Goodbye. Mwah.